What is going on, YouTube family? It is the Washingtons hitting you guys with part 2 of Did We Have Sex Before Marriage? We are legit going to give you the answer, and it's going to be a lot sooner this time. We will woo you guys for part 3. I don't even think we have that much information to keep y'all waiting.
We're just pulling information out of our heads and just...
Yeah. No. This time we're going to be talking a little bit more about our long distance dating and kind of how that played out. Before we were married, we actually were living in the same state for a couple of months, and so we're going to talk about a little bit about that, what led up to marriage and all that good stuff, right? What are you smiling about?
Right.
Walking
down memory lane.
She just thinks I'm attractive.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is, but it's okay. I know.
Oh, I'm blushing.
That's why we're married.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
No.
Yeah. Getting a little hot and steamy in here.
Over.
Alright, you guys don't have to like throw up in your mouths anymore. Let's let's jump right into this thing. Don't try to copy me. Goodness.
Alright, for real though.
Alright, for real though. Come on, let's do this. Alright guys, so me and Chelsea had a very unique situation since we had met on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We began our relationship, like I said last time, without actually even meeting.
Yes.
We didn't meet the first time until my birthday, so about a month after.
Right. We started dating in the beginning of April.
Yeah.
Well, we started talking about a month before that.
Yeah, but we started dating.
Started dating in April,
Yeah.
and we finally met around the 10th, like you said. His birthday is May.
Yeah.
So we were dating for 4 weeks or so before we actually met in person.
Legit. And then from then on, we traveled, once a month?
Yes.
Sometimes twice. I think we had a couple in there twice, yeah.
I would go to Colorado.
Mm-hmm. And then I would go to Wisconsin. So
Every
we would
month.
trade out every other month, seeing each other. We had good times. There was, as you can see, even though we were long distance, there was still time to stumble because we were still traveling and seeing each other.
Mm.
And I thought my wife was delicious, so I was just like, girl is fine. So as she's coming to see me, I don't see her much. It's and the only thing we can talk, and you know how that gets.
Mm-hmm.
It gets late at night. You might start having conversation, and it's like I'm interested. But obviously, it's long distance, right? And then when we're in town together,
Mm-hmm.
Praying and making sure that we have some safeguards up to make sure that does not take place. I would say that Shea actually being in the picture too kind of helped too, because you can only do so much with a
2-year-old.
A 2-year-old.
2-year-old around all the time.
So that's interesting too. And then obviously they didn't stay. I was a bachelor, so I had my own place, my own condo, so they didn't stay with me. That helps too.
Mm-hmm. We ended up getting a hotel. Shay and I. She came with me the first time. We got a hotel, and then when he came to Wisconsin, I had my own apartment with my daughter, and then my parents lived nearby, so he ended up staying in the spare room with the parentals.
With the parentals.
So that in itself was accountability. Having them, and they could hear when he was coming home or not coming home or whatever.
But it was an open book too. Like I didn't really have a problem with that.
Right.
Being around mom and dad, like it was.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't know. Hey, you guys, if you guys are those people that kind of struggle with being around parents and stuff, comment below why. I want to know why people struggle with parents, because I know not all the time it's because they're a bad influence or they're doing something bad. Like some people for real just get super nervous around parents, and I don't know why. I mean, there's a lot of
Why
time.
do you get nervous around your significant other's parents?
Yeah, I mean sometimes it is bad, but
right.
I don't know. Or maybe you just weren't raised to be able to talk to other people, or You're not good
or
at
maybe
building
something went
relationships.
down. Maybe you point at me.
No, I'm just no.
Joking. Or maybe something went down prior, or maybe like your significant other isn't very close with their parents, but they still want to introduce you to their parents. So there's a little bit of like,
Yeah. Or you feel as though it's too early.
yeah. So give us.
I don't know, because me and Chelsea, as far as that goes, like the first time we did meet, I met her parents.
Like literally like 2 hours later.
Yeah, like she
Yeah.
picked me up from the airport, but we literally went and met her family. So right away.
Yes. So, anyways, boundaries.
What?
So we have those in place as far as like where we were staying overnight and things like that. Since we were long distance, we made sure that we kind of had some boundaries in that area.
I think that already is
huge.
odd enough. Like, but I'm saying that's already odd enough.
Yeah.
Because long distance relationships are a lower percentage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people can spend every single night with each other. And the more often you can be with that person, the less accountability you start to accrue, because the higher percentage you're with someone, just the percentage of someone being able to be accountable all of the time is a lot less when you're seeing that person like every single day.
Yeah.
There's so much time in between the seams. So,
and I would say the more you're around somebody, the more comfortable you're going to be as well.
Absolutely.
Like,
And that's growing every single day. So shout out to those couples that do see each other often. We pray for you guys' relationships if you guys still are dating, because that's not easy. But try to set boundaries. Try to make sure that you guys go hang out with friends a lot.
Accountability.
Yeah, have accountability and try to set.
Pray about it. Pray
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Try to do things that'll set you guys up for success, whether that be, sitting. I know it sounds a little crazy, but maybe you guys are having, honestly, even when you're having conversations about God, those are very intimate. So even sitting maybe on a different end of the couch or whatever, like, set those kind of boundaries as well. Those are important.
Yeah. I'm just saying those even start to get tough when you're around someone, like,
Yeah.
all the time. So that relationship, that bond is just growing. And I say that to say too, I'm elated that our process towards marriage was a lot shorter rather than longer.
Yeah.
Because I mean we were even talking off camera a little bit too about what is it before marriage, like the proposal stage, like when you're
engaged.
Yeah, the engagement stage. I mean, a lot of people, it's very common to get engaged and wait 1-2 years because everyone's doing the large weddings and they want everything to be perfect and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, here it is, right? You were dating and you set boundaries, right? Say you make it through dating pretty clean, right? There's a couple times where you're just like, woof, that was a little close. We need to chill out, right? And then you transfer over to being engaged, and you got to do that for another year and a half, 2 years, and some people even longer.
With it in mind that you guys now went through the proposal part, there's kind of more of a commitment.
She's wearing a ring.
There's kind of a little bit more of a commitment.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit more serious, and you're like, well, we're gonna get married anyways.
Exactly.
You already have that like verbal communication and commitment that yes, I want to marry you.
Yeah. So it's like, well, she already said yes. She has the ring on. Do I really have to wait? Because in that time frame of the engagement time, I feel as though it becomes even harder. It became even harder. So just think about that too, especially when you're thinking about the marriage route, right? A lot of people don't even do marriage anymore because they don't like commitment, and those are just being around really poor relationships and not establishing good values. So we pray that God intercedes in you guys' relationships and starts to plant good values around you and good thought processes on this. But like I said, like the proposal or the engagement stage being so long is a huge hindrance on being able to sustain from sexual immorality. I know a lot of people or the world will tell you like, you gotta wait this length of time before you find somebody, and then you gotta wait this length of time because you have to have the most amazing American wedding ever. And it's like, it's not worth you falling in to sin. Love is love. Think about it this way. That day, you're going to spend all that money on that one day, right? But you still have to live the rest of your life, right? Yeah. You still got to buy a home. You still got to fund a family. You still got to do all those things. So why not take, if you do have that money, not everyone has that money, if you have that money to spend on that day to end up in a magazine or something super glamorous, take that money and plug it into something that's actually going to benefit you and your family for the long term. Get off on the right foot. Right. You know what I mean? Because you just never know what tomorrow's going to hold either. You know, so think about those things. One day versus the rest of your life, right? And are you willing to risk sin coming into your relationship and really putting this large amount of guilt on you guys?
Going into marriage.
Yeah, going into marriage, knowing that you've already stumbled. And couples that are watching this, married couples that are watching this, that know that struggle, that have already stumbled before, you guys know that feeling. Obviously, God forgives. Definitely. If we ask for forgiveness and we go through those steps. But regardless if he forgives or not, we know that it was wrong. You know what I mean? And it's something that we can't take back, but we try to encourage others to not stumble in the ways that we did.
And not to say that it's impossible to stay pure. Like,
no, we're just saying it's difficult.
There are people out there, I won't say a plethora full of people, is that a word?
Yeah.
A bunch of people, I wouldn't say that, but there are people out there that have waited.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honor God in that. And so it's not impossible. It's definitely not, especially with God's help in that. So
yeah, and I think with that being said, we will tell you now if me and Chelsea did connect before marriage. Drum roll. Chelsea, you gonna answer? Don't point at me.
Did we? No.
Yes, we did not have sex before marriage. That's part of why we sped up the process too, is we wanted to make sure that we were able to honor God with our marriage. So therefore our engagement was a whopping 1 month long. Less than
terrible.
Yeah, 1 month long.
Well, we dated for what, 6 months?
On and
April,
off, long distance.
On and off.
Well, like long distance, like we saw each other.
Long distance was on and off. Our relationship wasn't.
No, we were.
We dated from April to September. Yep. Got engaged and we got married November 2nd.
Yeah. Yes.
So it was like a month and a half we were engaged.
Yes.
Yeah. And our original wedding ceremony part, our vows, when we did our vows, was
and which that video's on there too. Yes. Our insanely simple wedding, if you guys want to check that out. Super simple. Was us, our daughter, my parents, his parents, and my uncle who married us. Or initiated, or what is it? Whatever. Yeah. Anyway. Why can't I think of it? Yeah, so our covenant was super simple. There wasn't a lot of fluff around it or anything like that. It was really focused on what it needed to be focused on. There was a couple of things that we would have changed, but we're not going to go into that. Yeah. I think we talked about that in another video too. So you guys will probably catch the holes, or if you've already watched the videos, you kind of know the holes in between our story. But our story is not necessarily the main focus. The main focus is on God's presence within our marriage, within our dating experience through the long distance, and how it should be important, and it should be in the forefront of our minds when we are going through dating, when we are going through marriage. And I know the world tells you a lot of things too, for those couples that are dating, that like you should shop around. I mean, we had a video that we talked about what marriage revealed about our singleness. If you guys haven't watched that, check that out too. I think we're wearing the same outfits. Whatever. But we were talking about expectations, right? And that list that you create for that other person, how it can lead you into selfishness, or it can lead you into hypocrisy. But also the same stint of just when you're searching for the significant other or someone that is of interest to you, that process should be kind of sacred as well. You are not an option for everyone. You should not just go and take every single date that you can because you want to try out people. You want to fill out people. That's not the goal.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, you need to find someone that you're equally yoked with, meaning on the spiritual level. They are a firm believer if you are a believer. If you guys are new believers, then you need to find someone around that same point, and you guys can grow towards righteousness together.
I would say really too, if it's somebody you meet online or if it's somebody that you met and then you guys start talking after that, it's okay to have a few nights of conversations on the phone before you invest like physical time with them, like go on a date. I mean, that helps too, but that way you're not kind of like...
You're not so committed.
You're not so committed. You're getting to know them. You're kind of evaluating to see if they have the foundation.
Yeah. Just like an interview. Once I got so far, and you'll know if you're ready to. If you have that mindset of like, I am ready to get married, you need to find someone else that has the same mindset spiritually, or has the same value spiritually, that says, I'm ready to get married. That was the real difference between me and Chelsea, is that I think at that time we were both ready to get married. That was the biggest kicker.
I wouldn't say I was ready, but I wanted to.
That's what I mean.
That's what I mean. For me to get
she said I wasn't ready, but I wanted to.
At that time, I desired.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is that having the desire and knowing like no matter what, I'm done kind of playing games. I want to
one person.
Yep, I want to stay focused.
Commit.
Yes, as long as those things are taken care of, go.
Yeah.
Like go, because like I said, a lot of the things in marriage are going to change from dating, and it's a work, and you just have to rely on God to help you throughout the process. That's the biggest thing. I think one of the best things for us while we were in the dating stage was really us being able to talk more so, because our relationship was balanced. It was not based off of the physical, the sexual needs, or the touching or being around each other. It was not based off of the material things that we could purchase.
I would
or
say
things like that
too, like just the busyness of life, like us being able to like go to a football game, go to the restaurant, whatever. Like we weren't always on the go. We were literally just on the phone. We were just talking. We were able to kind of focus, and I think a lot of that regular life stuff kind of can distract you. It's a good way to bond. It's a good way to grow your relationship. But initially in the beginning for us, it really helped to have those conversations.
Help build some chemistry, things like that. So that was necessary for us. That's the route that God had us go. Not everyone's going to be the same, but just seek to be profitable with your time and your relationship the way that God would have you to do so, and you should be fine. Marriage couples, I know we didn't really talk about our side of things, but that's totally fine. You guys got to find out that we did not before marriage, but that's not to praise us or do anything like that, because in our last video we still talked about in our singleness that like
we failed before that.
We failed more than enough. In our
singleness we had plenty of failures.
Yes, God's grace was more than sufficient for us, and we hope it's sufficient for you guys. Again, your life in His hands is the most important thing. Your relationship in His hands is the most important thing. You guys should be growing towards righteousness, not just towards each other. If you guys meet down here without Him above, there's still a major conflict, and it's not right. So let's focus on the upward. Focus on the upward. You guys will meet at the top. So I think that's all we got for today. You guys make sure that you subscribe, thumbs up this video, like it, comment below if you enjoy it. We'll make more videos such as. If you have any other ideas, please let us know. Check all the social media in the link in the description box below. Is there anything else you got for us, love? Alright, we love you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.